Test, 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 testing.
Place your right hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the United States of America, for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty. Madam Clerk, would you call the roll?
Yes, Mayor. Quorum is present for the City Council, Successor Agency, and Housing Authority.
Thank you. It's time for public comment. If you want to dial in for the open session, dial 888-251-2949 or 215-861-0694. And then for today, September 6th, the access code is 887-4739. Hit the pound key, wait 3 seconds, and press pound again. Again, the specific access code is 887-4739 pound. Wait 3 seconds and press pound again. So now, operator, are there any callers?
I do see callers, but I do not see any raised hand. To make a comment, you can press pound 2 on your telephone keypad to enter the comment queue. I do see a few callers in the comment queue.
Okay, but has anyone
Caller,
raised their hand to comment?
I'm sorry?
Has anyone pressed pound to comment?
Yes, I see 3 callers who have raised their hand.
Okay. So callers,
Moving on to the
please press pound.
caller, please go ahead. Your line is unmuted.
Oh, hi. Thanks for taking my comment. My name is Mary Lee. I live in the city of Inglewood, and I just wanted to bring up a concern that I have just about public safety. Last week is broad day.
Ma'am,
Yes.
right now, we're taking public comments on agenda items, and if you have a general comment at the end of the meeting, there'll be a minute allocated for you to express a general concern. Is what you're talking about on the agenda?
I don't think so. Thanks. I'll wait until the end. Thank
Okay,
you.
that'll be great. All right, next caller.
Caller, please go ahead.
Yes, my name is Gay Anderson. I'm a longtime Inglewood resident of 50 plus years. I need to the sound installation program. I need air conditioning. I'm on a fixed income,
Ma'am,
and I'm dying over here.
ma'am, it is very hot. But ma'am, let me ask you something. Is that on the agenda right now?
I don't know what the agenda is. How do I look up the agenda?
That's okay. Well, let me help you. So right now, sound installation is not on the agenda. However, at the end of the meeting, which won't be that very long, then when we say open public comment, then just stay on the line, and then we'll take your comment at that time. Okay?
All right.
Okay. But I definitely heard what you said about it being hot. All right. Next caller.
Caller, please go ahead.
Good afternoon, Honorable Mayor, council members, and esteemed guests. My name is Maya Walker. Can you hear me?
Hear you just fine.
Hello?
We hear you just fine.
Yes, sir. I'm a resident here in the city. Thank you, sir. I'm a resident here in the city of Inglewood, and I have just a comment with regard to item DR2 for the amendment to the professional services contract for the Inglewood Transit Connector project.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I realize that this item doesn't involve construction at this point, but as the council moves forward to advance this project, I'm asking, are there plans to begin early presentations to the community about what we can expect in terms of impacts to the corridor along Market Street and Prairie? We do know that there will be significant construction impacts, and so in my district, District 1, I know that many of my neighbors are worried about disruption to businesses and residents, and so my request would be, if there aren't plans already, if there are, to have plans to begin early presentations to the residents so that we all have a reasonable understanding of what this project will bring to our neighborhood. So that's my comment, and thank you for your time and attention.
So, Maya, what was your name? Maya what? Hello?
Maya Walker.
Okay, Ms. Walker, are you aware that this project has been underway for, going on 3 years now? And that there's been several presentations, there have been public hearings, and there was a full environmental impact report done, giving people the opportunity to write letters and give concerns. There have been numerous presentations made here in the council chambers, video presentations, slideshow presentations. So that process has been going on for 3 years. Were you aware of that?
I'm aware of that, and there were 21 commenters on the environmental report that you mentioned. I understand.
Okay, so what I'm trying to tell you is that there's been plenty of opportunity for input to be given, and we, just like today, we'll take your input right now, but we just want to make it very clear there's been an exhaustive public information and feedback process that's been put into place. So thank you very much for your call. Operator, are there any other callers?
No other callers in the queue.
Okay, we'll close the phone comments, and now we'll go to the library lecture hall. Are there any members of the public in the library lecture hall that wish to talk on an agenda item?
Marvin McCoy, District 2. Mr. Mayor, you're being deceptive about the Inglewood Transit Connector. First of all, the funding hasn't been secured, so let's start that line.
How has anything I said been deceptive, though?
Sorry, the funding not secured, so there's no project. So the estimated cost of the project with recession and inflation, you don't have the money. So stop that lie. These processes you're talking about, they're secret, where the public is not allowed to participate. You do that for a reason. So another thing on that Measure I, you lied about Measure I. You said the Measure I was going to infrastructure, which I found the document, you sneaky little bit. Never mind. You were diverting funds to the Inglewood Transit Connector. Yes or no, is the Inglewood Transit Connector fully funded? No.
Thank you so much. I really like that hat. Are there any other speakers in the library lecture hall?
Yes, Mayor, there's another speaker.
Hi, my comment is regards to CS1. Considering the fact that the residents of Inglewood are
Hold,
paying
ma'am,
closed session item CS1.
ma'am. You'll have to do that at the end of the meeting. CS1 is not on this agenda. If you wanted to speak on a closed session item, you have to come to the closed session and speak then. But however, at the end of the meeting, you're welcome to speak on any topic related to city business.
Okay, thank you. Can you please give me information in regards to how I would go about coming to the closed session? Would I come into this very same room at 1 p.m.?
Well, that's what you can do. You can call in, or you can come here.
At 1 p.m.?
Yes.
Is it also broadcast live, or would I just be making a comment?
It's broadcast. It's broadcast on well, closed session is not broadcast. You have to be here, or you have to call in.
Okay, so I wouldn't get to see it, but I can give my comment.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. We'll talk to you later.
No more comments, Mayor.
With that, we'll close public comment. And now we'll go to the agenda. Item 1, CSA 1 and H1.
Warrant register.
Move along payment.
Madam City Clerk.
Council members, successor agency members, and housing authority members, Dotson. Padilla. Morales. Falk. Mayor Chairman Butts.
Aye. Consent calendar, items 2 through 7.
So move.
Second.
Madam City Clerk.
Council members, Dotson. Padilla. Morales. Falk. Mayor Butts.
Aye. DR1.
Staff report recommending that the mayor and council members adopt a resolution providing utility assistance to residential customers with past due utility balances incurred due to COVID-19 public health emergency using American Rescue Plan Act grant funds and amending the city's 2021 through 2022 budget in the amount of $3,204,540.91.
Move adoption.
Second.
Madam City Clerk.
Council members, Dotson.
Aye.
Padilla. Morales. Falk. Mayor Butts.
Aye. DR2.
Staff report recommending that the mayor and council members approve amendment number 1 to agreement number 22-118 with Gannett Fleming, Inc. for on-call professional engineering services for the Inglewood Transit Connector project to include additional funding and inclusion of California prevailing wage provisions.
Move 1 and 2.
Second.
Madam City Clerk.
Council members, Dotson. Padilla. Morales. Falk. Mayor Butts.
Aye. And now we'll move to A1.
Thank you, Mayor. We had 3 closed session items. The first one is Melanie McDade Dickens versus City of Inglewood. As to that matter, a status of the case was provided, and there's also a request or a motion to reject a claim that she submitted on August 1st, 2022, and to allow the city attorney to provide a written response.
So move.
Second.
Madam City Clerk.
Council members, Dotson. Padilla. Morales. Falk. Mayor Butts.
Aye.
Thank you. CS2 is the workers' compensation claims of Dirk DeWachter. As to that matter, there was 2 claims provided. As to that, a status on that matter was given, and there's a request for settlement authority in that matter.
So moved.
Second.
Madam City Clerk.
Council members, Dotson. Padilla. Morales. Falk. Mayor Butts.
Aye.
And the last matter is CS3, which is the ongoing negotiations with the Bargaining Group Service Employees International Union. As to that, the status of the matter was given to the City Council and direction given to staff. As to A2, Mayor, there's no oral reports from the City Attorney's Office.
Thank you so much. CM1.
Thank you, Mayor. There's no oral reports from the City Manager's Office.
Okay, before I go to CC1, I want to announce that I've allowed an extra minute to the city clerk, so don't be jealous, guys. All right?
Ahead of time?
We're jealous.
I wanted to settle it now.
Yeah, me too. It'll be good.
Madam City Clerk.
Yes, Mayor, thank you so much. Just wanted to pay homage to August the 26th. It is designated as Women Equality Day. And what that is that is the date that was selected to commemorate the 1920 certification of the 19th Amendment to the Constitution, granting women the right to vote. So I wanted to make that known because I wasn't able to do so. Also, on the 27th, I attended along with my staff, Angela Allen and Christine Padilla. We attended the Councilman Dodson's Day at the Park, and boy, that was such a nice time. Good food, plenty of food, plenty of people there excited to just come out. You see us there with Sabrina Barnes, our Parks and Rec director. It was just a fun-filled day. My son had a good time. He didn't want to leave. I said, it's 4:00, we gotta go. But Councilman Dodson's, congratulations on that. That was very, very nice.
Thank
Really
you so
enjoyed
much.
it. Yes, sir. And thank you for having us because we had our booth there with voter registration and answering any questions that our residents may have had.
I'm grateful for that.
Yes, sir. And then right after Councilman Dodson's event, I stopped by the 78th Place Block Club Party. Thank you to Sister Overturf and Brother Overturf for inviting me to attend. It was really nice to see some of the residents out there under their tents chilling and enjoying the breeze, unlike this weekend, but that was really, really nice. And then just on this past week, Angela and I, we attended the Rolling Loud event at the SoFi Stadium, and that was really, really such a good event. I'm excited for it to come to Inglewood. It's going to be big, and boy, oh boy, I don't want to go, but I know a lot of people that want to be a part of it. Also, just wanted to inform our mayor and council and residents if they may want to attend the funeral for our longtime resident, Leon Davison. His funeral is going to be held at the Harrison Ross Mortuary this Thursday at 10 o'clock. A.m. And then on that same day at 12 noon, Commissioner Gene Eldridge, his funeral will take place at the Agape Christian Fellowship. So if you guys want to attend, the family did say that it's okay to announce it. And then last but not least, Mayor, my team, my staff, we have been working so hard, and not just myself, everybody in the City Hall building has been working hard because I'm knocking on everybody's nerves, but we are having our first ever here in the city of Inglewood National Voter Registration Day. It is really a day. It's actually September the 20th. We'll be celebrating it on Saturday, September the 17th, in conjunction with our Hispanic Heritage Festival. Earth Day was going to be a part of this because of COVID. You know, we couldn't do Earth Day, so we have Earth Day joining in with us. And I just wanted to make mention that the Inglewood Step Team, Inglewood High School Band, the Omega Gents will be in the house. We have Philip Loth that will be there. And then, too, we have some special guests. We have BJ the Chicago Kid. We have Tia P., our very own here in the city of Inglewood, Tia P. We have Zacardi Cortez that's going to be a part of this. So it is going to be great. But I have to make mention of this, of the vendors. We have some special vendors. We have Jams Creamery that will be a part of our event. I don't want to just say too many, but I do want to make mention of the Safe Gas Services. They specialize in.
We're in minute 7 now.
No, sir. Just
All right.
30 seconds.
Carry on.
I just want to, because of what's happening in Mississippi, I think it's important that our residents come out to take part and come here. SGS, they provide inspections and test the water. So, you know, environmentally, that's great. They'll inspect your water and the plumbing lines. So please, community, come out, get the information. Secretary of State's office will be there. The County Register Recorder's Office will be there. So just come out and get all the information. Thank you, Mayor, for that time. I appreciate you.
You are so welcome.
Yes, sir.
So now we move on to, let's see. Well, there's no housing authority. There's no appointments to boards, commissions, and committees. So now we're to public comment. Any persons wishing to address the city council on any matter connected with city business not elsewhere considered on the agenda may do so at this time. 1 minute. Operator, are there any callers?
As a reminder, you can press pound 2 on your telephone keypad to get into the queue. I do see one caller. Please go ahead, call. I do see a couple of callers. Caller, please go ahead. Your line is unmuted.
Hi again. Thanks for giving me this time. My name's Mary Lee. Live in the city of Inglewood, and I just wanted to bring to your attention a safety concern that happened last week, Friday at 5 p.m. I saw somebody get held up in broad daylight on a relatively busy street. It was Fairview. I just wanted you guys to be aware that crimes like this were happening, and I would love to hear in future meetings any plans to help decrease instances like this happening. I know that the police force is stretched thin, but I just want you guys to be aware that things are happening like that in broad daylight in relatively busy residential areas. So thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Operator, another caller?
Yes, I do see another caller. Please go ahead, caller.
Yes, my name is Gay Anderson. I'm a longtime Inglewood resident of over 50-plus years. I'm a retired teacher on a fixed income, 81 years old. I need the sound package. Everyone got it except my block, and I've been trying for years to get it. I don't understand why between 90th and Arborvitae was not included, because I have planes going over my house every 2 minutes. I live 4 houses off of 90th, and the planes have ruined my swimming pool. There's no the soot from the planes is just black all the time. I just had my house repainted a few months ago, and it's dirty already. I don't understand why I cannot get this sound package. I need it. This air conditioning I need it. It's terrible. I'm roasting over here, and there's nothing. I don't know who to talk to.
Okay, ma'am.
They tell me a study was done 27 years ago, and that doesn't relate to now.
Ma'am?
Yes.
Ma'am? Now, you said you're
Yes.
at 90th and Arborvitae. Those two streets run parallel, so what's the cross street you're closest to?
The cross street is 90th. I'm on Van Ness off of 90th.
You're at 90th and Van Ness. Is that what you said? Correct. Okay, now,
Yes.
so ma'am,
Yes.
as you know, back in the 1990s, the city entered into an agreement with the Federal Aviation Administration. And part of that agreement was that the FAA would sound test neighborhoods in the city, and they developed what they called were contours. And if you were in a contour where the decibel reading exceeded a certain threshold, then that property area would be included. Now, if you weren't, it would not. Well, wait a minute, I'm going to let you talk again, but just hold on one second. And so here's the thing, when they made that agreement, the city agreed that it would never contest those contours. Now, if we did indeed contest those contours, the agreement says first, we will pay all the money back that the FAA has put forth for sound insulation services. And the last time I looked, that aggregates to close to $400 million. Now, I, like you, my home is not considered in a contour. I definitely can see planes as they go overhead. I definitely can hear them. However, it was determined back when they made that agreement that the areas that were impacted reached a certain decibel level. So what I'm telling you is that I empathize with you. I air conditioned my own home, and I do understand your plight, but there are a number of residents that feel the same way. However, we cannot modify the agreement.
Okay, we're talking.
Can you
start a new agreement because apparently
30 years
that
ago.
was done 30 years ago, and the only people who did not get it were the people that are in between 90th and Hardy and Van Ness and Crenshaw. We're 4 houses off of 90th. Now the people on the other side got it, so is their decimal reading any lower 4 houses down?
What's that? Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, I hear you. Let me tell you something. I hear you. However, there is no opportunity to renegotiate with the FAA. The agreement was signed in the late 90s. It's done, and so here's what the rest of us have to do. Well, ma'am, you're not letting me finish.
The air travel,
Ma'am?
the air travel has not, since in 30 years, you don't think there's been a significant increase in air travel?
Here's what,
30 years?
here's what hasn't changed. The flight path hasn't changed. While there may be more aircraft that go down the flight path, the reality is that you cannot, by FAA rules, expand the number of lanes to come into LAX. And so I agree with you. There probably are more planes. However, the flight path is the same as it was then. And so here's what I'd ask you to do. You're welcome to write an email. I hear your frustration, but I, like you and like a number of your neighbors, we're in the same situation. We didn't negotiate the agreement, but the agreement is what it is. Operator, next caller.
I had no input in that, and so how would I contest it at that time?
Well, you could always write. You could always write a letter to the FAA.
Exactly.
You could always write a letter to the FAA.
I'm sure.
Okay, operator, we're gonna have to go.
Do you have an address or contact?
Here's what you do. Call this number 412-5300. Ask to speak to Maria or Yolanda, and they will give you the contact information for the FAA.
Maria or Yolanda at the mayor's office?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much.
You are so welcome, ma'am. Operator, next caller.
I do not see any other callers as of now.
Okay, so with that, we will close phone line comment, and we'll go to the library lecture hall for 1 minute for any non-agendized items.
Hello. Is my minute starting?
Your
My
time
name
is
is Taj Powell. I'm a resident in Council District 1. I'd like to start by addressing all Inglewood residents that are listening. If you do have a noise complaint, I guess the mayor is unaware, but you can call the LAX noise comment line. The number is 424-646-6473. I, too, was at Councilman Dotson's park party, and these issues were brought up to him as well. It seems he has no intention on supporting me in helping expand the residential sound insulation program, but it does need to be expanded. Inglewood residents are currently suffering from air and noise pollution. If you live north of 83rd or south of 108th, you are currently not getting any benefits from this program, even though you're experiencing the same decibel levels as your neighbors that live on 82nd and on 109th. I appreciated the mayor's comment that it is hot, but that is not the reason why the people want this sound insulation program.
Thank you, sir. You're at time. Thank you.
We're also being
Thank you,
air
sir.
quality as well as.
Would you mute the mic, please? Now, before we keep the mic muted, before we unmute the mic, I'm going to tell you again, the line that he just mentioned, that is and I used to work at LAX, that line is for you to report aircraft traffic that operates outside the limits of time frames that planes are allowed to take off and land from LAX. That has nothing to do with sound insulation. So anyway, next speaker.
Marvin McCoy, 2nd District, very fast. Give them games and food, they'll never revolt. That September 17th event is a clear campaign event. I was at George Dotson's event, and from the reports I got, I don't even think George Dotson knew he was there. It wasn't a paper shredding event, so he was confused. So candidates were being intimidated at that event. even at the city clerk's office, and it wasn't even a candidate, I was being stared down. You guys have a history. Let me tell you something that's going on here. Dr. King mentioned it in his letter from the Birmingham jail. He said there's an elite group of blacks and there's poor blacks and Hispanics. They go along with it. These people are selling out the city. Aisha with her little Miss Magic speech that lasted 7 minutes. I don't know what the heck. I thought Jesus was going to come back before that speech was over. These are games. As far as that Melanie McDade, this cop, this mayor is using police officers to intimidate Melanie McDade. Do not vote for him for re-election.
Thank you so much. Operator, next, excuse me, are there any other speakers at the library lecture hall?
Yes, Mayor Butts, there is. Considering the fact that the residents of Inglewood are paying the legal fees for your illegal transgressions against Melanie McDade, all matters regarding her lawsuit against you should be open to the public. The actions that are alleged against you have nothing to do with the course or scope of your employment as mayor of Inglewood, and because of this, you should be forced to pay back every penny that the city has paid towards your attorney's fees. I hope that the residents of Inglewood now realize that you are a huge liability. In fact, if we were to question Inglewood women who have been in your presence, many of them would tell stories about how you've touched them inappropriately or made sexual advances towards them. I have heard more stories about your illegal and sexually abusive behavior than I care to hear. James Butts, this is an official request of you to resign from your job as mayor of Inglewood. You are a crook, you are a bully, you are a sexual abuser, and you don't deserve to serve as mayor of Inglewood.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
That was very nice. Are there any other speakers?
No more callers, Mayor.
Okay. With that, we'll close public comment, and we'll go to council comment. Councilman Dotson, District 1.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Last week, I was privileged to have a luncheon with the seniors. It was great to see everyone and have an opportunity to laugh and talk. And we will be doing it again. Next luncheon will be on September the 14th and the 18th. So if you're a senior and you are in the need of a meal, please come out and enjoy a meal with us. There's a picture right there. We really appreciate those who came because they really made it exciting for me. So now for those of you who missed hanging out with us on Saturday, October the 27th, you missed a treat. I had a wonderful time partying with my District 1 participants with their day in the park. Thanks to you all for coming out, enjoying the food, the family, and the fun. I would be remiss if I did not thank our sponsors. The Clippers Organization, Republic Service, 7-Eleven, Target, Vons, Chamber of Commerce, and Snoop Dogg. There's really no way to thank all the volunteers and sponsors the way I would really like to. But these people that I've named, the organizations that I named, gave us more food than we know what to do with. If you were there, you would have seen how much food there was, and everybody got a chance to eat hot dogs and chicken and everything else that we had. So I'll be looking to see you all at our very next event, and we'll hope that we can do it even better this next time. Thank you, Mayor, and I'd like to say that I don't live in a corridor either. So with that, Thanks to everybody. You guys have a wonderful day.
Thank you, sir. And thank you for that 2 minutes and 36 seconds. This is amazing. Councilman Padilla is going to match you.
No, I'm going to take his 25 seconds. Are you kidding me? But no, you know what, George, you had a great family day at the park event. It was so, it's always fun to see our community come together. It gets to be emotional because you see the different cultures coming together, and you see what our city of Inglewood has evolved to. And you see all these kids and their families out there just having fun and celebrating the good times that are here in the city of Inglewood. You had a great event. I know, we all know up here how much work it took, but you did it. You did it. And your assistant and the rest of your staff that helped you put it together, kudos to them, because it is a team effort. And you did an outstanding job with that community event, so thank you.
Thank you.
I also had a chance a couple of weeks ago to go out and do the flipping of pancakes and the bacon and stuff for the Lions Club. And there's a picture up there of some of our Lions out there, and Nilo Morales had a chance to go out there and work with us. So it was good to see our community again come together to break bread, to enjoy some delicious breakfast, but more importantly, to enjoy each other's company, to be able to have a little one-on-one time and talk about what's important to them, and to be able to discuss any of their concerns. So that's what these events are also for, is to get that little one-on-one time. I also want to let folks know, we've had this vacant building at 64th and La Brea. It used to be the old Church's Chicken, right there on the northeast corner. Well, I'm happy to say there's a picture there with the person that's taken up the lease of that location, Michael Storm. And we're going to open up a place there called Storm Burgers. So it'll be a very delicious menu of hamburgers, chicken burgers, malts, shakes, French fries, onion rings. But we're going to change that whole intersection, that whole corner now, from a dilapidated corner to one where folks can come out again, enjoy family time, come out, get something to eat, and just chill and relax. And so we're looking to have this place open, I'm hoping by the mid part of December. So if you see workers out there, that's what they're doing. They're getting ready to open up Storm Burgers. And then, as the city clerk said, her event is coming up on the 17th in conjunction with Hispanic Heritage. It'll be all of downtown markets, on Market Street, throughout downtown. We're going to have the classic car show. I'm going to have about at least 200 cars there. I might go a little over. And the classic cars will be on display from noon till 5 o'clock. But the entertainment's going to go, I believe, from noon till 7. And so it's going to be a full day, with the Hispanic Heritage National Voter Registration event coming out. Again, these are all family events. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, my goodness, he made it 3 minutes. Oh, my God.
That was a little rushed at the end, but but he was kicking me under the table, man. I'm like,
It worked.
Councilwoman Falk, District 4.
I know, right? Thank you, Mayor. So I just want to give a big, huge thank you for our city staff. On August 27th, I hosted a Darby-Dixon community meeting with the residents in the Darby-Dixon area that is adjacent to the Morningside area, the Morningside School. And I want to just thank specifically Artie Fields, Angela Williams, Melissa Sanfield, Sabrina Barnes, Lewis Atwell, Chris Jackson, Nicole Loudermilk, and the rest of our city staff for coming out and putting together that event for this community. I feel like sometimes they're not as engaged as I would like them to be. So I wanted them to know that I'm here for them and I'm supporting them as well. So they came out, we had a great meeting. We provided some refreshments, McDonald's actually donated, and we had some games for the kids, face painting and stuff like that. But I got a chance to connect with a lot of the residents there and hear some of their concerns. We went over public safety. We went over some issues, concerns in the community regarding parking, and some of the concerns from moms in that community. They want a place to bring their kids that's safe. And so we had a good conversation about that. So I'm looking forward to reconnecting with them in the future and making sure that they know that I'm here for them and that we're going to address their concerns. So thank you for that. Also, after that event, I went over to the Second Avenue Block Club party and had a good time over there, met with residents, kind of hung out with them, had some good food with them. I want to thank our Commissioner Cheryl Williams and then also Hervé Gordon, who planned the event. And it was really good. I went right over there, and I am so sorry, George, because I missed your event, and I feel bad. But hey, we just have some great things going in Inglewood, and every district is popping, as they say. So my district was popping that day, but I hate that I missed your event, and I know it was a wonderful event. So I will definitely catch the next one. And then lastly, I just want to give a big shout out to my husband, Shannon Falk. We celebrated 13 years of marriage this weekend. Love you very much, honey. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Councilman Eloy Morales, this is
George made us wait for you for a long time before we moved forward, so just so you know. Couple things. First of all, I was at the pancake breakfast with Alex, and I have to say that, that's a group of folks that goes way back. I remember the Lions Club from a long time ago. And those groups, that's a particular Democratic club that has existed for a long time. Alex has helped bring them back. And I know they have a good group, but I mentioned that to mention that there's so many positive groups that know what we're doing, that talk to us when we go to these events and just address like real issues. So I commend them for continuing their mission and for just giving us the opportunity to be a part of everything they do. Next, I want to talk about the residential sound installation because it appears that when it gets mentioned, we do get some calls from folks that think they may be able to apply, aren't able to apply. The mayor covered it pretty good. But first, I want to clarify that there's a tremendous amount of areas which probably should be included that were not included. We were not here when they developed that map. We were not here when they accepted the terms of that lawsuit. However, we have been back to Washington over the years. I know me and the mayor went back a while back to try and get them to take a look at those corridors because we feel the same way you feel. Unfortunately, once an agreement like that has been made, a settlement, it's very difficult. And we have been successful and get some movement here and there. But those are things that are for the most part out of our hands until we get somebody at the FAA who decides it's time to take another study. That's what we would love, but it's not in our hands. And I want to make that clear because I live in the westernmost side of Inglewood, which is probably the most affected, and we have areas that were claimed not to be affected. It's impossible. It's impossible. So when the mayor speaks about it, that is very clearly like the situation we're in. There is nothing in our hands right now. We wish there was. But that being said, there is a program. We hope you do see if you qualify, and we hope you take advantage of it. That's all I've got on that. Councilman Dotson, great event. Like Alex mentioned, it's an opportunity to showcase who we are and to really embrace our community. I have to say that it is such a positive kind of feeling when we go to these events that, kind of really tell us how folks are feeling about the city. We can sit here and we could listen to folks that are pointing to certain things that they're not happy with. But the truth is, events like this bring out the real community. They bring out what they feel. They point it out. That's where we get our comments. That's where we get our feelings. So congratulations, Councilman Dotson, on just a tremendous event.
Thank you.
That's all I got, Mayor.
Thank you. I just had a couple things, and I guess Thomas will put the first image up. And so Rolling Loud, which is, it's very famous, again, like WrestleMania, I didn't know, but they're going to be in Inglewood from March 3rd through the 5th. And so once again, Inglewood's on the map again. This is going to be a very popular event. They expect probably 70,000 people.
Wow.
Then we had an event in town, BAPS. It's a Hindu organization, and they were celebrating their 10th year of representing the greater Los Angeles area. Their temple is in Los Angeles, but they had their celebration where? At the Forum, okay? And eventually everybody comes to the Inglewood Forum. It was a really beautiful event. I got that necklace there, and I'll put it in my trophy case. No, it's not called a lei. Okay. And then they're over LAX Urgent Care, actually right across the border from Inglewood in the Ladera Center. They opened, and so now we have an urgent care facility right here adjacent to the city, and we're very happy about that. Now, water. Water delivered to the city of Inglewood and LA County is provided by city groundwater wells and the Metropolitan Water District. The MWD provides Colorado River water via the West Basin, via the pipeline that will be temporarily shut down due to emergency repairs from 9/6 to 9/20 of 2022. Therefore, water from city-owned groundwater wells and Northern California rivers via the MWD State Water Project pipeline will be the only two sources. Since the upper feeder pipeline will be out of service, the city of Inglewood and NWD kindly request that you limit watering activities to no irrigation or outdoor watering from 9/6, that's today, to 9/20 of 2022. And then I want to go back a little bit. It's election season, and we had three people that want to run for office, one that didn't get the 40 signatures, so he can't run. But there's going to be a lot of information put out, probably at the form of these council meetings. They're going to be very inaccurate. Unfortunately, Mr. Powell doesn't understand the difference between the noise line for LAX, which is 424-646-6473. Now, this line is meant to be used by residents who feel that there are flight operations after midnight and before 6 a.m. in the morning. They have nothing to do with the sound mitigation program at all. Now, one of the things that we have been able to do, we got the FAA to extend the program to what was called the end of the block. It didn't change the contours, but if the contours split a block in mid-block, we got them to allow that this was the spirit of the agreement, was to go to the end of the block. We also got them to agree that the spirit of the agreement, while it's all residential, should cover churches. And so we have fought continuously over the years to expand the program as much as possible without violating the agreement, the legal agreement, that would force the city to return hundreds of millions of dollars. So please beware. There are going to be people that are running for office who don't know what they're talking about. And this is an unfortunate byproduct of the electoral process. And then finally, the city does get sued from time to time. Because you're sued doesn't mean that it's true. But the city has a responsibility to protect the taxpayers' dollars and not just give away money. And no one in this council will ever just give away money because someone files a lawsuit. So I wanted to thank the public for all the support that you've given the council as we've tried to move this city forward. This is the greatest period of time in the history of Inglewood. In fact, this is the greatest period of time in the history of any city in the South Bay or LA County. Proud of the staff, proud of the council. And with that,
Hold
we're...
on, Mayor.
Oh,
I forgot, if you don't mind.
no.
Can you close in the honor of one of my District 2 residents? I'd be, I can't believe I forgot to mention him, Hiroshi Omari. Hiroshi passed away a couple of weeks back, and we just had the services this past Sunday. So may he rest in eternal peace.
So in
Thank you.
addition to closing in the name of Leon Davidson and once again mentioning Gene Eldridge, we are also closing in the name of Hiroshi Omari. And with that, we're adjourned.